Do you consider yourself an influencer? I believe that you are. And I want to teach you in today's video how to be an influencer for good. Every single one of us can be an influencer. Now, of course, I understand the terminology as it relates to social media, but way before social media, we had influencers who did great things in their lives and made huge impact, some of which you know about, others which you don't. But in today's day and age, we can know about you. And I want to teach you how to be an influencer for good. You're going to want to take notes. You're going to want to share this video, and I guarantee you it is going to be exactly what you need in 2026 to navigate these very difficult waters that just are brimming with injustice. I got you. Lean in. If you're tuning into this video and it's at the time of this recording, you likely are feeling a bit of despair, feeling a bit of overwhelm because you're seeing on TV, social media, all throughout any kind of media, the injustices that are going on right now as it relates to this administration's, I would say, strategy on how to remove illegal immigrants. We have seen a substantial amount of injustices and people being just thrown out of their cars, illegally taken out of their homes, taken young people away from their families, and it's overwhelming. And I want to acknowledge that it's hard for us to continue with life as normal, life as usual, or whatever that is to you, and then not see what's going on, especially because it could at any moment be in your neighborhood, be in your zip code. And so I want to identify what we can do as people in this world. Because let's just keep this real. You've been born in this generation for a reason. It's not as if you weren't going to see this, because you were. And the God of the universe knew that there's something in you that will be able to bring aid, bring assistance, and a sense of peace with what it is that you've been gifted. And the only way to understand what that is to really dive within your heart. And I completely believe, with all the research I've done and everything that I do to teach myself and to make certain I remain accountable to the divinity, the mission that God's given me, I know that I'm not the only one who's been given this. We've all been given this gift. But I really do believe that when we are unsure of what that is, we fear it. And let me just dive a little deeper before I go into what it takes to be an influencer for good. I want to reference a poem that Marianne Williamson wrote from her book, A Return to Love. It's called Our Deepest Fear, right? Have you heard of it? I'm sure you likely have if you've been following my channel long enough, or you've been following the people that actually believe in this type of work. It's called Our Deepest Fear. And I just want to quote it for you right quick. And then I'm going to dive into some principles that I think are necessary for this time. So, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. And I'm just going to ad lib here. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate to deal with the issues of today. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And let's get this right. It's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, and talented? Well, actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. And shrinking so that others don't feel insecure around you does not serve the world well. Because when you begin to shine the light within you, when you begin to understand who you are, when you relish in the idea, you really think about who you are and how God has gifted you, and you get quiet doing the steps that I'm about to outline to you. When you shine your light and you shine it with the foundation of love, with forgiveness in your heart, with grace, with kindness and joy, then you give other people unconsciously permission to do the same. Because often, what I know in doing this work, specifically for executive level women, is we really think we can't share what our true, authentic nature is. We've never been taught to know where our light shines most abundantly. We've been taught that our light shines most abundantly and actually, this is inaccurate, that our light shines from our looks, or that our light shines from the way in which we've earned our degrees, our titles, the amount of awards we've received, and the money that's in our account. We've begun to think that outside nature is our light, and it's not at all, because if any of those are taken away, we believe that we are less than. And none of those actually define you, because you weren't born with that. You were born with an innate gift that only God gave you. It's your soul's actual roadmap to the destiny that is in you, right? Unfortunately, a lot of us don't ever really realize that, because we're so busy wrapped up in so many other things that there's no way that we could ever get to the heart of the matter, right? The heart of the matter is actually your influence. It's the impact that you are designed to create in this world. And so the purpose of the video today is for me to introduce you to how to get to the light that's in you, and to really stop being afraid of what that light is, and getting rid of the distractions of the darkness. Let's just say the things that you learned, the habits that you have adopted through the years, these habits and that you've been given, you've been given them through your parents, your culture, through your zip code, your community, through narratives that have been dictated through media. Whatever that is, you've just inherited it, you've repeated it, and it became something that you learned. That's not something you were born with. Now, are those bad? You have to decide that, right? Because the character by which you walk through this world is indicative of typically those outside factors. However, when you get quiet, you know that there's something deeper. You cannot deny the fact that there's something that kind of creates a energy in you. You get excited about it, whatever that is. And it's because your heart is already designed with that imprint. And there's nothing you really have to do except for stop making those outside factors the driving force within you. Because when you start to analyze these things, and this is where we talk about in our work here with Rise with Diana, it's the path to power, purpose, and connection. And that path only begins when you start to see how your character shows up in the world, and you're willing to be aware of what's making up that character, that you begin to see the influence that you can make in the world. As an executive level woman, you have been performing, you've been code switching, you've been imposter-ing your entire life. And so when someone like myself comes to you and says, hey sis, we need to figure out who you are, you're like, this woman is weird, interestingly odd, and strange, and scary. She's scary because she's asking me to dig deep into the unknown, and I am not familiar with this. And so your brain says reject. And I am just pleading with you to not reject the information that I'm giving to you right now. And today's video is not meant to give you a prescriptive of how to be an influencer for good. The purpose of today's video is to inspire you to know that everything within you is already influencing you if you let it. If you let it. If you trust that what I'm sharing with you today is you're feeling it. Because I could come to you with the greatest evidence and studies, but if you don't trust what I'm saying, you don't trust me, then it's likely you've probably clicked off this video right now. But if you are still here, my sister, that means you are picking up what I'm laying down. You are feeling something in your heart. And that's because you know this. And I have been put on this earth, and I am, this is after so much research and so much even me trying to fight it, bat it away. The light within me is attracting the light within you as an executive level woman because I have been you. I know what it is that you're fearing because you believe that if you actually share your story, you analyze it, you see who you really are, other people might reject it too. You might get fired. You may not be able to get a promotion, or you may not be able to do the work that you are called to do, or worse, you'd get fired, right? And all of those are all lies, right? That's false evidence appearing real. And that is your fear, right? That's the fear. Because the light within you cannot be diminished. And when you start to believe that everything is for you, everything in your life is for you, everything, no matter if on the outside it's perceived to be negative. Because when you start living the lifestyle of being an influencer for good, and you start taking on the ideology, the practices within the Rise Advocates movement, your life begins to change. You have a sense of ease. You have a sense of flow. When issues come your way, you're not distracted. You're not taken off the path because you know it has to come. And that's why I'm telling you, if you're watching this in 2026 and you are at the beginning of the year, you have come to know that what we're seeing in the world, all the injustices and atrocities and this extended power play that administration is doing, this is administration within our government and Congress and so forth. This has got to play out, y'all. This has got to play out. I know you don't like it, but it's got to play out. Why? Because everything that has happened is happening for the good. Because there are some things that are going to change. And you know what? I'm just going to say, you are so ready for it. You are so ready for it. That's because, again, your heart has a blueprint, a design that is going to help you get through this time period with ease, flow, confidence, and this knowing that everything gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right, all right. Why do I know that? Because I practice what I talk about. And I am a spiritual being having this human experience. You say it with me. Say, I am a spiritual being and I am having this human experience. Now, in order for you to be the influencer for good, you have to slow down enough in order for you to see where you are performing. You have to see, is this me or is this a performance? And I will tell you that when I began this work, I had to question a lot of things. I had to think about am I funny because I want to be funny? Or am I funny because I know it's going to elicit a laugh and I want to be seen and I want to be heard and no one pays attention to me? So let me just kind of put on this, let me just kind of do a little dance and, a little shucking and jiving to see if this is it. And if I felt like I was doing this and I felt shame or guilt along with that, I had to sit with that. See, these little steps, these little micro habits that you have picked up in these like micro knowings and micro awareness tactics that I teach within our Rise Advocates Academy allows you to begin to examine it, allows you to be able to see it and go, that's interesting, right? And as you begin to ask God to show you, because God designed you, you'll begin to know where the inauthentic nature has grown within you. Ooh, that's so good. I'm gonna need to write this down when I get done with the video because God is just downloading the thoughts right now. That's good, right? Because in the scriptures, which I tend to talk about a lot, and this is not just within a biblical text, this is in a lot of religious, if you follow religion, but there are a lot of texts that talk about this. That, and I'll speak to the Bible text. It says, search me, it's in Psalms, search me, O Lord, and know my anxious thoughts. Let me know anything within me that is not of you. And when you actually ask that earnestly, God will give you opportunities to learn it. And some of y'all are too afraid to be able to learn it because that would then show you your light. But I'm just going to say, journey with me, my sister, because you will begin to see and you will begin to know. And then you guess what? You get to make a choice. You get to make a choice and say, I know this isn't serving me well. You get to say, I know this isn't serving me well. And I consciously choose to do this. Or you can continue to be asleep and unconsciously take on that same habit, which you know is not serving you, but you've been told that, right? You are now awake. You cannot unsee it now. That activity, that practice, that micro shift will begin to help you get on the path of being an influencer for good. Now, you might say, well, what's good? What's bad? What's evil? What's not? You know within your heart what is. See, because when you begin to trust yourself, you begin to trust your knowing, that inner knowing, which is spiritual. That spiritual knowing is correct. Why do I know that? Because guess what, sis? Your heart beats and you don't have to ask it to beat. Your food will digest the food and you don't even have to do anything to make it do it. You will know to go to the bathroom because you will know to go to the bathroom. You know to breathe because you know to breathe. That same designer that put all that stuff in you, that told you, you got to do all this, your eyes blink when it knows it's supposed to blink, right? But because of our habits, sometimes we destroy these beautiful, what we call energy centers in our bodies. You know it. You don't have to do anything about it. This same designer that allowed for all of that to happen is working within you as it relates to your purpose and the ability that you can have in this world to make impact for good. For good. Now, you can either trust it or you cannot trust it. It's up to you. But if I were a betting person, which I don't bet, I would bet on this side, my sis. I would bet on this side. I would bet that this woman right here has some things to say that are going to impact your life for the better. So I also know a little bit about you as a executive level woman that I speak to. You're dealing with this thing called perimenopause or menopause, and it tends to distort our view of good, impact, and influence. And within our community, we do practices and work that allows us to understand what's actually happening on the inside with our emotions, our hormones, and all the things, which also can impact and or blind or cause us to have the wrong lens for the work that we're supposed to do. So I'm just going to encourage you to do this. I encourage you to take every single day and say, today I am an influencer for good. And just start saying that. I am an influencer for good. I am an influencer for good. And literally wake up and write down, I am an influencer for good. Here's how I influence myself. Here's what I am going to do to be an influencer for good. I'm going to get quiet in the morning times for 10 minutes, just sitting and breathing. I'm going to journal my gratitude. I am going to honor my body by giving it what it needs. And you might say, I'm not sure what it needs. Well, okay, you can get on the internet, you can do some research, or you can begin to sign up for some of the programs that we have. And this is just the perfect segue for me to let you know about them. First, if I were you, I would get onto our free newsletter. Every single Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday, we send out a free communication. That allows you to get into our ecosystem. When you get into our ecosystem, you will begin to feel the frequency that is going to allow you to elevate to a new level. I would start to follow me. If you're watching this, you're either on YouTube or LinkedIn, or maybe you picked it up through some other social media channel. And if you're watching this entire video, you're feeling a sense of awakening. Why? Because everyone that comes into this community and our ecosystem feels that. You may say, well, I'd like to be a little bit more involved. Okay, take a step by being a part of our paid subscription, which is our Rise 53 paid subscription. It's a $97 a month subscription that allows you to be able to meet with us on a weekly basis. Yes, I said weekly, right? You get coaching messages every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in your email, if you read them, right? It's a low cost, easy way for you to be able to get into our community. Now, if you say, well, I really just know, I followed you long enough, Diana, I know that I am ready to take the next step. Well, the next step is for you to be able to get into our academy. And by the showing of this video, it's 2026. We have cohorts that you can join. And eventually, we're going to be having our academy on Evergreen, and you'll be able to join it at any time. But to me, I believe the best way for you to be able to get everything that you need is to join a community of women through a cohort. And that is only offered various times of the year, as is our Rise 53 Inner Circle. There's a certain onboarding process that we do that allows you to be able to get in there. So takes a little bit of time, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it because we dive deep. Your girl is not playing with the influence. Now, I'm just going to be clear. I am not God. I did not design you. All I do is give you tools that allow you to remove the debris. As a former civil rights attorney, that's been my job as well, to remove barriers for you to be able to see the opportunities in front of you. Once you see them, you can't unsee them, but it will be your choice to proceed accordingly and to step outside of the matrix. That's my invitation to you. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? For this video is to tell you that you are an influencer for good, right? And there are steps that you can take to become an influencer for good, because when you understand who you are, the whole world changes and you can make the impact unconsciously and consciously, just by actually showing up as your full, authentic self. You picking it up? All right, my sister. That's all I have to share with you today. Please join my next video because I'm going to be teasing out all the aspects of being an influencer for good in today's day and age, and steps that you can take lively to do that. Be safe. You are loved. And I'm so grateful that you joined me today. I'll see you in the next video.